You know that feeling when the day just kind of slips away, you're always reacting, not really creating, maybe feeling a bit stuck.
Yeah, like you're not quite hitting your potential in work or just, well, life.
Exactly. Maybe you're an entrepreneur juggling everything, or an artist trying to find that spark. Or maybe you're just thinking, how can I get more out of my day?
That feeling that there's more untapped potential there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strong driver. And it's exactly what we're digging to today. We're looking at the 5 a.m. club idea.
Right, drawing from these excerpts from a really interesting story, actually.
Yeah, it follows this entrepreneur and an artist, both kind of itching for something more.
And their paths cross with this really intriguing character. Looks homeless at first, but credits his amazing success to a mentor called the Spellbinder.
And our goal here in this deep dive is to really unpack this whole 5 a.m. club thing, the philosophy, the early rising, what's in it as presented in these passages.
See what useful bits, what insights there are for you listening right now.
Exactly. Find those practical takeaways.
Okay, so it kicks off at this personal growth conference. The entrepreneur, she's in a bad place, business troubles, even thinking about sleeping pills.
Yeah, and she's pretty cynical about the whole self-help scene initially.
Yeah.
Thinks people should figure things out themselves,
Which is relatable, right? That skepticism.
Totally. We often feel we should have all the answers. But her being there kind of shows she's desperate enough, or maybe just open enough, to look for something different.
And then there's the artist, same place, different reason. He wants to boost his creativity, make work that really resonates.
Right, so it shows this desire for optimization isn't just about fixing problems. It's also about amplifying what you're good at, pursuing passion.
Then, boom, this guy who seems homeless just jumps into their chat, says he's super successful, amazing life, all thanks to the Spellbinder.
And he makes this point. Top performers don't just hope for great results, they actively make them happen. It's intentional.
That's a big shift, isn't it? From passive to active. And this guy, appearing like that, saying that, it definitely gets their attention, breaks through that cynicism.
Definitely. And then he drops hints about the teachings. 4 key areas, he says.
Yeah, like what?
Okay, so the psychology of genius, productivity tricks of billionaires.
Yeah.
The neurobiology of performing at your best.
Wow, okay.
And this idea of having a responsibility to reach your potential, but also, help humanity, serve the world.
That's quite a package. Mindset, tactics, science, purpose, all rolled into one.
Suggests a pretty deep philosophy, right? Not just surface level stuff. It hints at something comprehensive.
And then, just as they're processing all this, he invites them, come with me. That's where the real adventure starts.
It's a leap of faith moment for both of them. Curiosity, maybe desperation, pushing them to say yes to something totally unexpected.
So next thing, a Rolls Royce pulls up, then a private jet. They're off to Mauritius.
Quite the upgrade.
Yeah.
And on the flight, the artist notices something. The quiet of the early morning. That clarity.
Our first real nod to the power of the morning. That quiet space, fewer distractions. Good for thinking clearly.
Exactly. It's central to the whole 5 a.m. club idea.
They also get these gold tablets on the plane, 5 statements engraved on them. We don't know what they say yet,
But the way they're presented, like precious lessons right at the start, suggests they're important, foundational, adds to the mystery too.
So they land in Mauritius. Paradise, basically. And who's there? The Spellbinder himself. But he looks exhausted.
Which is interesting, right? It makes him seem more human. Even this guru needs rest. It underlines that idea of balance.
Yeah, he talks about that. Rest, recovery, absolutely crucial. And how solitude can spark ideas. And that joy connects you to your, natural genius.
Important points. It's not just about grinding 24/7. It's about smart work, taking care of yourself, inner well-being.
And then the big reveal. The homeless man. He's actually Stone Riley, billionaire, looking super fit and energetic now.
Brilliant twist.
And he greets them saying, if you do not rise early, you can make progress in nothing. Bam. Straight to the point.
It really drives it home, doesn't it? This unconventional teacher, his own transformation, it powerfully links early rising to making actual progress, a living example.
So Riley starts sharing core ideas. First up, protect yourself from distraction. He calls people glued to devices cyber zombies.
Ouch. But relatable. In our world, constant notifications, pings.
Totally. It's maybe the biggest barrier to deep work. He tackles it head on.
And then he brings in flow state. That feeling of being totally absorbed, performing at your peak.
Yeah, being in the zone.
He says waking at 5 a.m. makes it way easier to get into that state.
Okay, that's a big carrot right there. Everyone wants more flow. Linking it to early rising gives a really strong why.
And we see the entrepreneur starting to change inside, questioning her values.
Yeah.
Like, how important is social status? Material stuff.
So it's not just about getting rich or famous, it's deeper. Looking inward, figuring out what really matters to you.
Right. Riley says your worth isn't tied to external stuff. Then he gives them this 3-step success formula.
Okay, lay it on me.
Step 1, get better daily awareness. Step 2, make better daily choices based on that awareness. Step 3, guarantee better daily results because of those choices.
Simple, but sounds like the execution is everything. Awareness, choice, results.
Exactly. Small, conscious actions, day after day. Like maybe awareness is just taking 5 minutes in the morning to think, what's really important today?
Makes sense. He also mentions how our brains kind of lean towards negativity and that fight or flight thing when we leave our comfort zone.
Yeah, the battle between the higher brain rational and the lower brain primal. Scared to change.
So when you try to wake up early and it feels hard, that's partly just biology kicking in.
Pretty much. Understand that resistance, knowing it's normal, can actually help you push through it. It's not just you being weak, it's your brain doing its old protective thing.
Then Riley says, greatness is an inside game. It's not just mindset. He adds heart set, health set, and soul set.
Okay, let's unpack those. Mindset is clear, how you think. Health set, obviously physical health. Heart set.
I think that's like emotional resilience, your emotional state, managing feelings.
Yeah, that fits. Emotional intelligence, empathy. And soul set.
Maybe purpose, connection to values, inner peace, like your why.
I like that. So it's holistic. Thinking, feeling, being, purpose, the whole package.
He also stresses your surroundings. High quality environment, positive people makes a difference.
Oh, definitely. Who you hang out with, where you spend your time, it shapes you, consciously or not. Being intentional about that supports growth.
Then this idea, pressure is a privilege. Challenges aren't bad, they're chances to grow.
Total reframe.
And he's got this tattoo. Victims love entertainment. Victors adore education. Whoa.
Intense, but it hammers home that continuous learning, seeking knowledge is key, versus just passive consumption.
Right. And underlying it all. Commitment, discipline, patience, hard work. No shortcuts.
Nope. Those are the engines that make the whole system run. You need them for the principles to actually create results.
They also get a quick mention of the 20-20-20 formula. We don't get the details yet, but it's flagged as a key part of the 5 a.m. routine.
Yeah, sounds like a structured way to use that first hour. Movement, reflection, growth, something like that. We find out more later, I guess.
Okay, so later, different setting. They're in the catacombs in Rome, and the topic shifts to sleep. How absolutely essential it is.
Yeah, they get this cool science bit. Apparently, while you sleep, your brain cells, your neurons, actually shrink by like 60%.
Oh, really? Why?
To make space. So cerebrospinal fluid can wash through your brain and clean out all the metabolic waste products that build up during the day. Like a power wash for your brain.
That's amazing, a nightly brain cleanse. So sleep isn't just resting, it's active maintenance, crucial for clear thinking the next day.
Exactly. And there's even a special lymphatic system just for the brain involved in this cleaning. It really shows sleep is this fundamental, evolutionarily designed process for keeping your brain in top shape.
It really puts sacrificing sleep into perspective, doesn't it? It's not a badge of honor, it's actually undermining your performance.
Totally. Undermining health, focus, everything.
Then later still, there's this wedding gift. Framed artwork of Thomas Edison. And with it comes the 10 tactics of lifelong genius.
Edison is the example. I mean, the guy had over 1,000 patents. Talk about productive genius.
Seriously. So using him as the intro really frames these tactics as potentially transformative. Like, this is how extraordinary output can happen.
And there's an Edison quote shared too. The best thinking has been done in solitude. The worst has been done in turmoil.
Back to that idea of quiet, focused time. Like those early morning hours, avoiding chaos.
Exactly. It reinforces that value constantly. Solitude for clarity.
So what are some of these tactics? We got a few highlights. The tight bubble of total focus, the 90-901 rule.
Right. 90 minutes, intense focus on your single most important project for the next 90 days. Then a break. Then maybe another 90-minute block.
Structured deep work, recognizing you can't sprint forever. Breaks are part of the process.
Then the power of tiny wins. Basically, notice and celebrate the small steps forward each day.
Builds momentum, right? Keeps you motivated. Even small progress is progress.
Yep. Positive reinforcement. Then there's the 2 massage protocol, 2MP.
2 massages a week, 90 minutes each. Wow.
Yeah. Serious commitment to recovery, mental and physical well-being as a performance tool, not a luxury, reducing stress, helping the body recover.
Integrate self-care right into the high-performance model. I like that.
And finally, capitalize on your 5 assets of genius. What are they?
Okay. Mental focus, physical energy, personal willpower, your original talent, and daily time.
And the kicker.
They're all supposedly at their highest peak first thing in the morning.
So it loops right back. Use your best assets when they're at their best, which is early. Leverages that 5 a.m. start.
Makes sense. Then there's this idea of the twin cycles of elite performance.
Twin cycles, meaning?
Meaning it's not just about the on-cycle high-performance work. You also need the off-cycle deliberate recovery. Play, leisure, rest, it's a rhythm.
Challenging that always-on hustle culture. Saying rest is actually productive.
Exactly. Rejuvenation isn't slacking off. It's necessary for sustained peak performance. And apparently ideas often incubate during that downtime.
They give examples too, right? Famous people who valued play.
Yeah, Einstein, Dickens, Streep, Gates, loads of them suggest maybe their leisure time wasn't just fun, it was like essential to their breakthroughs.
Downtime as part of the process, not separate from it. That's a powerful shift.
Then the conversation goes a bit deeper. Importance of magic and soulfulness.
Magic.
Yeah, like success without inner fulfillment. That's called the highest of defeats. You need that soulful connection.
Okay, so it's not just about achieving goals, but how you feel while doing it. The inner state matters.
Right. Joy is your GPS. Trust your heart, your intuition. Find that balance between being successful and being soulful.
Adds a really crucial dimension. True fulfillment isn't just external metrics. It's internal alignment, meaning joy.
And we get more wisdom via the billionaire's maxims revealed through little charms. Maxim number 1 is linked to a mirror.
A mirror. Self-reflection.
Exactly. Own the magic within yourself. Importance of solitude, self-awareness. They quote Pascal, how humans can't just sit quietly in a room. We run from ourselves.
So intentionally disconnect from the noise. Connect with your inner self. That quiet time, maybe early morning again, is key for self-discovery.
Maxim 2, linked to a flower. What's that about?
Collect experiences, not just things. Miraculous experiences over material stuff. Reconnect with wonder, simple joys. Get past the superficial.
Shifting focus from having to being and experiencing. Finding richness in life itself.
Yeah. And then Maxim 7, implied by optimal health and represented by weights.
Health links back to the assets.
Right. Optimal health maximizes your power to produce your own magic. It pushes for exercise first thing. And connecting with mortality, like life's short, don't postpone joy.
Wow. So physical health enables everything else. And that morning exercise primes you, physically and maybe mentally, for living fully today.
It all ties together. Then the story brings in lessons from Nelson Mandela, his time on Robben Island.
Such a powerful story. His transformation from anger to forgiveness, inviting his prosecutor, his jailer, to his inauguration. Incredible acts of reconciliation.
And his quote about leaving bitterness behind, otherwise you remain imprisoned. It's a profound example of choosing your response to suffering.
Yeah, the idea that suffering can either embitter you or ennoble you, make you weaker or stronger.
And the source suggests that many great figures faced huge adversity, but they chose to leverage it, use it as fuel for growth.
It reframes hardship, doesn't it? Not just something to endure, but potentially a catalyst.
And they offer this definition of a leader based on that. It's not just about being in charge.
What is it then?
Inspiring by example, choosing forgiveness, pushing past mediocrity, turning terror into triumph. Basically being a force for good. It's about character and impact.
A much more holistic view. So after all this, what happens to our entrepreneur and artist? Did it work?
Oh yeah, big time. The entrepreneur, she becomes fabulously wealthy, yes, but also heals old wounds, finds love, runs marathons, gardens, volunteers.
So success on all levels, not just money.
Exactly. A well-rounded transformation, less focused on just fame and fortune, more in a meaningful life.
And the artist
becomes a celebrated painter, finally overcomes his procrastination, masters his craft, also runs marathons, great husband, becomes vegan, even takes yodeling classes.
Yodeling. Okay, so he really embraced living fully, trying new things, unleashed his potential, and found joy.
Seems like it. And get this, they have a son named Stone.
After the billionaire. Nice touch.
And they both stick with the 5 a.m. Club principles. It's become their way of life. They're committed to sharing how valuable that early start is.
Wow. So it wasn't just a phase, it led to lasting change. Sustainable, positive habit.
That's the picture painted here, yeah.
Okay, so wrapping this up, this deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club ideas from these passages really lays out a kind of blueprint for potentially big shifts, personally and professionally.
Yeah, all anchored in getting up early and then layering in these specific habits and mindsets we've talked about.
And you can see how it's all linked, right? Productivity, well-being, growth, purpose, joy. They feed each other.
Definitely interconnected, not just isolated tricks.
And remember what the spellbinder supposedly said, even a tiny step taken is better than just thinking about big plans. You don't have to do it all at once.
Which brings us to that final thought for you. Thinking about everything we've discussed, the transformations, the principles.
What's one small thing, one manageable step you could maybe try tomorrow morning? Start, owning your morning a bit more.
Could that be the beginning of elevating your life? Which idea resonated most? Maybe that's your starting point for your own exploration. Just something to think about.